Hello, my name is Alon Fliess and I'm the CTO of Sela Group. In days we are preparing Windows 7 World Tour. We are preparing the slide deck and we are also preparing lots of demonstrations that demonstrate the new feature of Windows 7. We'd like to use .NET to program against Windows 7, and as you know or you don't know, lots of the new features of Windows 7 are native features, which means that you have to use C or C++ and the Win32 APIs. What I want to do today is to demonstrate how to use the new sensor allocation platform. This will be our first webcast, and we will do many more on many new other features later on. So to begin with the sensor allocation SDK, there is this badge from Freescale. If you were in the PDC, you could take one of these. This badge includes different sensors in it. There is the accelerometer, there is a light ambient sensor that I will show you how to use it, or at least a demo about it, and there are also some touch buttons here. So I'd like to connect this badge to the machine, to the computer. So it has a USB connector, so let's connect it. And now I have to enable it in the control panel, so I'll go to the control panel, and I will enable this sensor, this badge sensor, so I enable it and apply. So now I can start and use the sensor that you can find here. So let's see the code to use. Before the code, let's see how you could use it using the native API, and then we will move to our new wrapper that lets you use it from .NET. So I prepared a class diagram. This is the class diagram for the native SDK. The one that comes with the Windows 7. So you can see that you have everything here is a COM. So you have the eye sensor manager, which is a COM interface that represents a COM class that manages all the sensor in the system. So you can use it to query for an existing sensor using the get sensor by ID, if you know the sensor that you'd like to use, or can you query by using the get sensor by category for environmental sensor, for physics sensor, and so on. And then when you query, you can get a collection of a sensor to use. Each sensor is represented by the eye sensor interface. There is another way you can register to an event. You can advise to an event, and then you can get the on sensor enter, which is it is an event that tells you that there is a new sensor in the system, and then with this event you can query to see what is the category of the new sensor, who is the vendor, the manufacturer of the sensor, and so on. So you can get sensor, then you have the eye sensor that you can work with. From the eye sensor you can get the data about the sensor. You get it by using the eye sensor data report. Now the thing is that this is supposed to be the framework for very different kind of sensors. So in order to use different properties and different sensors, we use GUID, some sort of IDs that represent those sensors, and you can query against these GUIs. It's not so easy because you don't have the type of the sensor. You have to manage everything by yourself. You have to know about the IDs of the sensor, or at least the category of the sensor. You have to know which property to query, again using a GUID that represents the property. So it's not so easy way, but this is the native way. What we did, actually, Dima, one of the member of the team, what he did, he wrapped this native API using .NET wrappers. So what you see here is a sensor manager, but now this is a managed sensor manager that lets you again get all the sensor, get it by category again, get it by ID again. But now when you get a sensor, you get a strong type sensor. You get a sensor that knows or that lets you know many things about it. Each sensor has its own type, but also it has its own sensor data report. So you can query for specific, or you can get specific data. For example, for the accelerometer, you can get the X, Y, and Z axis. For the switch, you get the Boolean that tells you if the switch is on or off, or true or false. For the ambient light, you get the amount of light in lux. So you have a specific information about the specific sensor. Again, you can register for an event for a new sensor in the system, and then you can get the sensor itself. You can cast down it to the specific sensor, and then it's much easier to work with sensor. So I'd like to show you how we took this framework and embedded it in one of the XNA games. So let's move to the code of the game. So this is the code of the game, and you can see that in this code there is used to be only a keyboard handle, keyboard input handles, and mouse handler, and joystick, and so on. So we'd like to add the accelerometer from this badge. So you can see that we can get from the sensor the A3D report, and then we can get the x-axis and the y-axis, and we can use it to move the car in the game. So now let's run the game and see how I use this badge to move the car in the game. So for the game, let's run it. Okay, let's start the game. Start race. So you can see that I can move the car faster or slower. I can move to the right or to the left. And to show how to use the ambient light sensor, I can even make the environment, make the sky darker or lighter. Okay? So this is a nice usage of the accelerometer and also the light ambient sensor in this badge. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to see you in our next webcast.